Good morning. We are already on live stream. Good morning. Good morning. It's such an amazing morning. We're blessed to be here. We're just going to do a little introduction. We're not so much introduction, but we're gonna continue with our introduction of facials. Um, we want to kind of close it out, at least half, 50% of that this week, so we can have a midterm by the end of the week. And it'll just be a little bit of a few chapters. The last three chapters we'll have compose a study guide, have like a midterm. So that's what we'll study this week before spring break. Hold on one moment as I go over to the lesson. I don't know how to, I got another screen up. I'm trying to mark it down. I don't know how to mark it down. There we go. All right.
Rashid is having a haircut consultation with his client Lisa, who mentions having heavy bags under her eyes. Rashid hasn't studied proper facial technique and therefore doesn't even consider offering a facial treatment. At the same time, Mirta is in the middle of a consultation with her client John, who has come in for a manicure. Mirta hears John loud and clear, and since Mirta has studied the technique, she upsells John to a full spa day experience. Mirta is able to create higher revenue while keeping her customers happier, and all with the help of facials. Facial treatments are an extremely popular tool for cosmetologists to improve their clients' skin appearance and condition, while at the same time helping them relax and giving themselves an added source of revenue. By learning facials and facial massage techniques, you'll be able to provide a popular service and add-on while using natural therapies to help your clients. And identifying the proper skincare products for the appropriate skin types goes hand in hand with this service. You will be able to provide a popular service and add-on while using natural therapies to help your clients. And identifying the proper skincare products for the appropriate skin types goes hand in hand with this service. You will build rapport with your clients as they see you took the time to specialize a service just for them and their specific skincare routine. Rashid saw that by not offering facials, he was missing out on some serious revenue and opportunities for customer satisfaction. So Rashid learned the proper techniques. And when his next client enters after a long day at the office, Rashid knows just what to offer.
All right. So that was just our short intro into facials. I don't think the video gave us exactly what I was looking for. So I'm gonna move over into continuation. It is a great introduction. You gotta have communication. One of the key components of that consultation, and like I told you guys before, you're gonna see consultation every chapter. The individual who was more skilled was able to upcharge and give an answer, or we'll say a solution to the issue that the client was having. So that's something we got to always keep in mind. The one more skilled, the one more trained, the one more knowledgeable has total access to make as much money as they want. You can just upcharge. You're able to explain more. You're able to move them in the correct direction instead of just doing basic standard level. When we talk about facials in cosmetology. A lot of times you have cosmetologists who do not have an interest in skincare because their major emphasis is hair. And so the objective today is to make sure is to inject a love, a seed for skincare. All right. And skincare, honestly, has higher revenues for the last 5 years than cosmetology. 6 years, seven. Okay. Than cosmetology. And so it's something that they're doing over there that is causing them to have continuously high revenues. And let me tell you, that has not been a dip. My first school was all aesthetics, and I did that for a reason. I went to a trade show. I was teaching about hair. Went to a trade show. It was in Las Vegas, and it was you could walk through and do flips on the hair side. Cosmetology had taken a dip. Okay. And when I got over to the skincare side, you had to do excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. You could barely get through. Okay. Aesthetics had taken the front row again. And so I said, wow, what is going on? And a lot of times when you go to different areas, you can kind of project how things are going to go for the next 6 months across the country. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to Tennessee. I think skincare is where I should go first. Um, it's a business decision. It was growing, it was number one. Okay. So it has continuously been one of those top tiers. Now you have cosmetologists who are opening up to enhancement. Cosmetology is climbing back up, but you have cosmetologists who are opening up to the enhancements of using, let me add on, let me expand my menu, my knowledge base of skincare. So they're doing hair removal, they're doing skincare consultations, they're doing facials, some of it may be on the basic level, but they're offering it to their clients, and so now their value have expanded because they've gotten the knowledge that this same client I'm doing their hair is going somewhere else to get a facial, going somewhere else to get a wax, going somewhere else to do all those things, actually, and buy product. So while you have them in your chair, in your hair salon, you can offer these things, and the client now becomes a return clientele for because of the things that you have incorporated. So you don't have to always start, stay where you start. You may start in hair, but you don't have to stay there. All right. I started in hair. And even when hair was a major thing for me, 95% of my clientele, I will have clients say, man, I wish I could get a facial. And then I run a facial, mini facial. And I always have one or two clients to book that week. But while they was getting their hair done, they also would get a mini facial. And they would get the mini facial uh, at the shampoo conditioning part of the service. And my coworkers were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm fulfilling my goal. I have a goal to make every week. And so if my clients want these services, I don't have a problem spending 30 minutes out of my time. That's a average mini facial to make sure that they're good, because when they go somewhere else, somebody they don't know, they may overcharge them, they may neglect their time, they may not give them the service they want. So I've always been like a bookworm. So at the end of the day, I wanted to service my clients. And if I also wanted to enhance my skincare skills. And so it gave me an opportunity to practice. They didn't know I was practicing because I had a license, but it did give me an opportunity to do more and step outside of the box of what I had been doing all along. All along, I was doing hair, weaves, braids, you name it, I was doing it. So stepping into skincare kind of gave me a break. I'm still connected to beauty, but I needed that different mind flow, and I see myself doing that today. I do that to today. Sometimes I need a break from beauty. I will go over to making my products in skincare, formulating hair care products. And that gives me my Musa moment. Okay. Then I come back over to start teaching again. Okay, so that we always have a release. So think of it, cosmetologists, as actually having an opportunity to breathe, learn something new, and also build the value of your income, the value of what you're offering. Okay, looking over into the ebook. Alex, I don't know how far we got. I don't have my notebook with me, but I'm definitely going to look into something. I had already planned a schedule, objective schedule. Let's just go back in. Okay. I love that your facial chapter has the face of a man here because I do want to tell you male grooming in numbers. Look it up. It's almost equal amount of services. They get almost equal amount of services as your target market. So the target market mostly is women for facials, skincare. So male grooming, men are just as equal as women. So are you telling me the myth of what they used to say, men don't do skincare? Let me stop share so you can see this. Talk back to me as well. Either they used to say men don't get skincare, they don't get facials, they don't get their nails done. From the numbers I see, yes, they do. Okay. And here's the numbers. It is not what you think it is. Many individuals would try to sell that metrosexual men are the ones who are pretty much getting the services. You know what? It is heterosexual men. It is every kind of man. I don't care. I don't care anything about a person's bedroom. It is inappropriate communication in the salon. It is inappropriate communication in the classroom. My job is to teach. My job is to do your hair. My job is to do your facial and services. I don't care, you know. If a person invited me into the conversation, I'll be able to share beliefs. We can go back and forth and be respectful about it. But my ultimate job is to look at the numbers. And so I want to kind of bring some myths when you guys go out and you're promoting services. I want you to say there are literally facts, okay, that men are spending just as much money on hair, skin, and nail services. And when I tell you those men are not what you would consider feminine, it would be the whole body of me. Okay. And so you have your masculine and your feminine, whatever you want to do in between. But I want people to take the limits off of people. And when you hear the numbers, I want something to spark inside of you. Man, I've just been looking at this thing one way, servicing women. But no, you need to look at this thing all the way around. When you think of a family services, and that's one thing you can think about offering family services. Okay. What that means is you not only service the mom, you service dad, you service their children, that you offer family services because the same thing mom's getting, the kids and the dad is having problems with their skin as well. They're having problems with their hair and scalp as well. And so I want you to look at it from an economic point of view. What's happened the last week or the last weekend economy wise? Do anybody know? What have you noticed when you went to get gas, when you cut the news on? What's everybody talking about? Give me one thing. Have you
How high
seen
gas prices are.
yeah, gas prices. So I know I'm in South Haven. Uh, I prefer Sam's, Walmart, and Sam's and Kroger. Okay, but sometimes you gotta go by the house, and the gas usually. from using 87, it's like 229 or 239. Last night I put gas in, it was 289. So it's jumped 50 to 60 cents. All right. I'm researching a little bit. I said, man, I told my brother-in-law last week, you know, I'm a reader. I said, it may be good for you to get an extra can of gas while it's kind of low, just keeping it around because gas prices are going to go up because where the area where all the gas is coming through, they're kind of blocked and there's no oil ships coming through anywhere to go to anybody. And I told them, I said, China is already on reserve, which means they've used up what they had. They're going into their savings account of oil. And and that's going to affect us as well. And you're going to start to see gas prices go up. He goes, oh, okay, okay. I'm like, I'm just saying, And I look up this week. Yes, gas prices has gone up. Look at that. Someone told me we had to go to a conference and looking at flights. They said the flights were so expensive. And I said, well, yeah, those planes need gas and oil to do what they got to do. So, it's costing them more. I can only imagine how much it's costing if gas on this end has gone up 50, 60% in a week. Said that to say this, people needs are becoming more expensive. If they put in their budget a salon hair service, y'all, if you do anybody hair this week, I want you to show so much gratitude. And of course, it's going to include a thank you. But if you have a client this week, show some love, give them a little trinket, maybe a little bag. Easter time, I used to have these little Easter eggs because I was a hustler. I'm still a hustler. But I was in salon, I have this Easter basket, and it'll have these little eggs in it. And inside the eggs will be like $5 off service, or it'll be pick a free product to take home. It wasn't much because I'm still building. So, and it was a basket decorated like a little Easter basket. So the clients were so excited to sit in the chair when they saw that. And before they even got their service done, I would tell them, pull from the basket. And they will pull, and a lot of times it will have free facial, free mini facial, things of that nature. When they will pull, they will see it. And they was like, oh my goodness, thank you. I needed that little $5 off. Oh, I really wanted a facial. I just couldn't afford it. I mean, what do you think started happening then? I knew the budgets were tight, but it was just something I was doing to promote and also give back at the same time. So if you have a client this week that puts you in their budget to get their salon services, anything done, they're paying you for a service. You put an extra thank you on. Have a piece of candy, a piece of chocolate wrapped in a ribbon or something. I don't know. Tara, what's your favorite color? Are you in the chat? Miss Tara, what's your favorite color? Oh, red. Okay. Okay. So get you some red ribbon, and Paquetta, what could she purchase under $10? Something sweet or a snack. What could she purchase under $10 as a treat for her client? Something edible.
To match with the red theme, it could be something like peppermints or mints. Um, or she could do like what you were saying, the Easter eggs, just to throw something in there to fill it with sweets or
Ah,
hand
yes,
sanitizer. She can get it personalized, little small ones with like her brand name on it.
she could. She could, I think, do they have six for have them for $1 a piece? I think at Body. Okay, okay, it's all good, Tara. But as long as you're listening, I appreciate you. Um, Bath and Body Works spend $10 in the hand sanitizers, right? And put a red ribbon on them, or get the Easter eggs. They like $1 from Walmart. Get the and since you're not doing it for children, you just get you the bigger ones, spend a little extra dollar, get the gold ones, and put numbers in them, or have your clients pull a number and number the eggs. So if your client pull a 3, then you go to the 3 egg, and whatever's inside is for your client. Okay. And it may be you say, okay, this cost I have a $10 budget. So you're gonna spend at least $2 on the eggs. And in one of the eggs, you can put a $5. You know how much mother and them do it, $5, $1, $2. So that's $10. And the rest of the eggs, you're gonna put services that don't really cost you anything. Okay. So a free wax, an extra 5 minutes on your massage and the shampoo, extra conditioner, $5 off your next service. All that would be in pieces of paper inside of the eggs. What did I do for that promo? I only spent $10. That $10 is going to turn into $100. At $10 is going to turn into probably 2 or 3 clients. And you'll be amazed that you're giving something back to them. And I want you to look at it and be like, your clients are going to look like, oh my goodness, she gave back. And they're going to tell somebody. That's going to be a topic of conversation. They're going to tell somebody. And the next week, 2 weeks on down, you're going to see that $10 multiply, especially if you want more practice in something. You say, man, I'm always doing braids. I'm always doing this. I want to do more practicing in facials. Do facial promos, giving away gifts, giving away like at least 2 services, and watch how that expand or break the services up. And mini or express facials are only 30 minutes, and you cut it down to 15 before they even go into their service. You've made them relax, and you practice on something you've always wanted to practice on. Okay. And that's a good way to introduce a service. So, yeah, do the give back and say, hey, I got a $10 budget. And I actually will put the money inside of the egg. So they're like, man, I needed this $5. They're going to give the $5 back to you. Okay. The dollar or $2, they're going to give it back to you. But at the same time, you use that to introduce new services and as a thank you. And because of the economy, the gas prices, flipping for me 50 to 60 cents in 1 week, can you imagine the clients who have big trucks? Can you imagine the clients that have like very expensive, foreign cars? That gas is, then you can't take 87 in those trucks. You can't take 87 in those cars. So can you imagine? But they still come and get their hair services through you. So give an extra smile, an extra thank you, something extra this week. And it's sometimes just that. Remember, we're always building rapport, and people's experiences, how you made them feel, causes them to add you to their budgets, causes them to return and become clientele instead of a customer. Okay. A customer is only one time. Clientele is somebody who you can pay your bills on because they repeatedly come and they have a repeat service. All right. So that's something I really want you guys to think about. You want to do more facial skincare? Offer it as a promo. Introduce it to your people. The next thing I want you to maybe do is, once you learn something really well and you want to introduce it, have a client appreciation night, client appreciation day. It could be a Saturday. And I've done many of this at the salon. Client appreciation day on a Saturday or Friday, where I knew most of the clients were coming in. Have a table cupcakes, donuts, coffee, juice. Okay, not nothing too big. And these can be breakfast muffins or and donuts. Okay. Clients just appreciative of the snack in the morning, getting the energy going. It could be something in the evening you can also do. But you can have them come in and you introduce them to the new services that are going to be offered from the salon. The new services that are being offered, how much they're going to cost, how it benefits them. And guess what? You're telling them that as a team or as an individual, because when they're not getting their hair done, they're thinking about, oh, I can, she does this, I can just book for those services as well. Sometimes you got to introduce, people are not going to just jump and say, give me this, give me that. You have to let them know what your capabilities are. So with hairdressers, you guys are hairdressers moving into skincare, we want to wedge the two together. And you do these services on the same people. So you might as well have a component that serves this. And you may say, Ms. Cuz, I want to do this on Mondays. It's my slow day. I don't mind working. I want to do this on Mondays, my slow day. I don't mind working. And then you do hair the rest of the time while you build up this component as well. Okay. So this is something that I want everybody to think is necessary. Okay. It'll definitely increase your income as you learn more about skincare. All right. It's going to increase your income. And as people come in this week, knowing that the economy has shifted, the next thing that has happened is those high-end clients. And many people will say, I want those rich, those high-end clients. Um, those salons that are already offering premium or high-end clients, they're taking it's a serious hit, okay? Because their client base is premium or high end, right? Which normally their client base probably dibbles and dabbles in different forms of different avenues of the economy, especially brokerage, um, especially brokerage, stocks, things of that nature. As a cosmetologist, I do want you to be aware. Don't just keep your head down in the sand. I want you to be aware of what's going on around you. The stock market has tanked every day. Okay. So those clients that have millions in reserve don't have millions in reserve. Okay. Every day their millions are being challenged. Okay. So just as gas and oil has had an issue and it affects your clients on the bottom end, the stocks has affected your big major clients on the top end. Okay. So offering relaxation or a break in between hair services is going to be amazing because what you're doing, you have relaxed. Okay. And a lot of high-end salons are feeling the hit simply because their high-end clients are stressed about what is going on with their money. Okay. And it becomes like a trickle effect. And so if you're not in high-end salons, kind of just breathe a little bit and say, "Ooh," you know, because when you start messing with people's money, when people have effects of their money being damaged or going away, and things happen, and so many things happen, it could be detrimental. Where people say, "I don't want to live here anymore." Literally, they haven't experienced a loss. They may lose millions of dollars, and they will say, "I don't want to live here anymore." Okay, and it is so detrimental. So they might not even come to the salon. So those salons are feeling a hit, and it's just going to get worse unless something happens. So I always want us to have an ear to the economy because we depend on those individuals coming in and spending money with us. And if their money is being hit, that's going to trickle down and they're going to reduce coming in and spending money with us. So anybody that continues to come in and spend money with us, knowing that the economy is doing something crazy, hey, that's a blessing to you. What I want to say, and this is just my motivation this morning, find a product this week. I really want you to make it. Tara and Paquetta. I'm just your teacher like that. I really want you to make something this week and sell it. That's what I do. I want you to make something this week and sell it. And the reason I'm doing it is because of things that are happening now economy wise. And if people will start to cancel appointments and say they can't come in, but guess what they need, Paquetta, if they can't come in and get you to do it, what do they need at home? They need something that can maintain their hair and skin until they are able to come back. So smart stylists, we prepare. So, and if you need to learn more about retail as well. So I want y'all to make something this week, offer it to your clients. It could be, let me know what you want to make, and Miss Cox will help you. It could be a serum, something quick that you can create and purchase, create and sell. It could be a serum. Make something for the hair itself or the scalp, and then or make something for the face. All right. And the easiest thing for the face is going to be a serum. Okay. A serum, a serum, a serum. And so let me know what you want to make by the end of this class. And we'll have a one-on-one call. And I'll run it through with you. Okay. So at the end of the day, I need y'all to be prepared. Just like with pandemic, they couldn't get to the salon, we had to sell them shampoo. We had to sell them conditioner. We had to sell them whatever they needed to do until they got back to us. Okay. So I want you to think of learning facials, learning skincare is just more money in your pocket, more money, more money, more money, more money. Okay. And it's an easy sale, especially if your skin is amazing. Okay. You're going to sell other people just off the strength of your skin being amazing. Your hair is amazing. You're going to sell other people just off of the strength of your hair being amazing. So think about that. Your nails amazing because we're moving into nails in the next week or so. All right. So if your nails are amazing, you're going to sell people, and we'll probably make a serum for cuticles, make a lotion or something for, or butter for hands at that time. All right. So think about that. Enhancing your services with marketable promos, and also enhancing the value, your retail numbers, by offering retail products to sell to your clients. Okay. Those are the two things you want to tackle this week. And I just challenge you, anybody coming in that still comes in and making an appointment, give it extra thanks. Okay. Let's look at our first thing, why study facials. Let me tell you, facials is going to be on aesthetics, and facial is on cosmetology. Okay. So cosmetologies, you have facial background as well. Let's look at our state law. So if you're testing in Tennessee, you have client consultation. All right. I'm trying to get you to see what I see. All right. If you are testing in Tennessee, you have questions on sanitation, infection control, client consultation. Remember, I've been telling you for weeks, you're going to see client consultation over and over and over. Okay. Hair, scalp, skin, and nail consultation. You're going to see all that. You're going to have about 17 questions on consultation. Hair, scalp, and skin analysis, and a little bit on nail analysis. That's where you see that consultation all the time. Hairstyling, 6%, hair cutting, 12%, chemical services, 15%. Here we go with skincare, okay? Product chemistry safety, okay? This is key for all components. And then they're gonna talk about procedures, all right? In SEMA, you're going to go to the procedures, okay? And skin analysis, facial chemicals, the products that you're putting on the skin, that's facial chemicals, facial massage, and tool device safety. That's where your questions are going to come from. Hair removal, we talked about questions coming from safety procedures and temperature precautions. Temperature precautions is you checking the wax, all right? So since we are into skincare, this chapter, I want you to really focus on procedures. What are those procedures of skin analysis? Facial, or basic facial, but the products, okay? What are you putting on the skin? What does the exfoliation does? What exfoliate? What does that do? And that exfoliator is a scrub. What does the massage cream do? What does the moisturizer do? What's the purpose of the cleanser? That's that component there for you to study when it says facial chemicals. Facial massage, okay? And then tool device safety, okay? So that's your supplies, your equipment. What are you using? How do you use it? And so when it says facial massage, the different massage movements, okay? The different massage movement, also the breakdown of the muscle, the parts of the muscle. So that's going to be areas for you to study. And when you see that, these things, I need you to be like, to highlight and bookmark those areas. Say, hey, this is what I need to study because I'm going to see 6 questions. Skincare says 6%. 6 questions about skincare. And you're going to see it from product chemistry and safety, from procedures, so on and so on and so on. So that's our focus matter right here when it comes in terms of skincare, okay, in terms of facials. All right. Hold on one moment. Okay. So that's what every chapter I want you to see what the state board components are. And those are key areas I want you to focus on when it comes to facials. Defining what is a facial. It is defined as a facial treatment. Let's highlight in pink. And look for those references when it comes to state board. Defined as a facial treatment, professional skincare treatment that improves the skin's condition and appearance. That's going to be key. All right. Anytime that you are going to see a bold term, you want to highlight those terms. Okay. What are you studying in reference to tests, your state board? You always need to study the flashcards. You always need to study, do the practice exam, do the exam, and you also need to study the slides, okay? For this particular chapter, for PSI purposes, I'm going to show you where to go to study the procedures. Anytime there's a video procedure or anytime it says a rubric, check the pre-treatment, all that stuff out, this is what I want you to check out, okay? Cosmetology cosmetologists to study and have a thorough understanding of facials? Because, here's the because. And actually, this becomes the answer to the check-in questions, okay? What is a facial? Bam, it's a facial treatment, professional skin care service, improves the skin condition and appearance of the skin. Why should cosmetology study facials? Look at this. All of this is in pink. Cosmetologists should study and have a thorough understanding of facials because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And number 3, as a cosmetologist, are you allowed to treat skin diseases? Why are they important for you to recognize? All right. Are you allowed to treat skin diseases? Well, let's look and see. All right. Proper skincare can make oily skin look cleaner and healthier. Dry skin look and feel more moist and supple, and aged skin looks smoother, firmer, and less wrinkles. Salon facial treatments combined with effective individualized home care regimens will show visible results. So let's look here. And when we look at these objectives, we have 11 objectives for this chapter. When it comes to consultations already that we have service, we are not able to treat diseases. Cosmetologists, estheticians, we must stay within our scope of practice, and that's conditions and disorders of the skin. You guys can service conditions of the skin, but disorders, you will need to have a doctor's permission. So your clients got to get notification, got to get slips and approval from a doctor before you can do disorders. And then diseases is outside of your scope of practice. That's for a physician. Okay. Although you would not treat any skin diseases. Let's see this here. Put that in yellow. This is the answer to number 3. Although you will not treat any skin diseases, you must be able to recognize adverse skin conditions, which means we taught the last couple chapters contraindications. Okay. So when you see these things, it's a red flag that you cannot get these services. All right. Most of the times it's signs of infection. You see signs of infection, you cannot get services. Adverse reactions are if a skin was calm and now it's irritated, it will start sensating like a, I won't say the word burning, but it can have like a ting to it. Client will be discomfort. Instead of your skin being normal color, it may turn red. Also, it may be sensitive to touch. Also, you may see appearances of like hives, bumps, okay? That makes it that those are warning signs that something is going on. Other signs of infection, your skin warm in a particular area, feel hot in a particular area. Also, if you press down, you feel throbbing. Okay. So local fever or throbbing will be forms of in signs of infection and pain. And so we're not supposed to service those clients. Okay. So our understanding our scope of practice, it does allow us to, as a cosmetologist, allows us to do facials, okay? But we cannot act as a dermatologist. We cannot act as doctors, okay? So we have to make sure we refer our clients to seeking medical advice from a physician. So those are your check-in questions. Everybody should always be referencing those questions because it's going to help you on your exam. Okay. The aesthetics path. So in most states, cosmetologists, this is the case in your state, you have multiple career paths to choose. You can choose any of them. That means in your license, you can go in the salon and just do nails. You can go in the salon and do hair, or you can go in the salon and do skincare. All allows you to do that. An esthetician license can only do aesthetic skincare services. They can do all the other stuff. So kudos to you guys being cosmetologists. Okay. It says skincare appeals to cosmetologists. I'm going in pink, who are attracted to the differences they can make in client skin. You see your client skin every day. Okay. And this is another thing. You see your client skin every day. And seeing your client skin, okay, this causes you to really want to not only service their hair, to service their skin. On top of that, the hair, skin, and nails are on the same system internally inside of the body. So whatever you're treating on the hair, you'll see that also in the skin. You'll see evident of that also in the nails. So you might as well treat all of it across the board. Okay. Existing clients can become your skincare clients. That's what we want. All right. Let's look at it from a business perspective, being both a hairstylist and an esthetician. Remember, our client focus is not just women as we thought. It's now going to family based because not only do the women deal with skin issue, dry skin, you got the son who probably going through puberty, playing sports. She's gonna ask you what we should do with his skin. You're gonna say, bring him in. Okay? She's gonna say, oh, my husband's dealing with such and such, such and what should we do? You're gonna say, bring him in. Okay, so it allows you to open up to services, and with experience, you're going to start creating these different services, facials for men, for maturing men, for a teen facial. I do something called a sports facial. Okay, and so that's for my students who are actively in sports. They sweat a lot. Normally, you on the field, you're gonna sweat a lot. Okay, so the key component is a double cleansing, and it is going to be a dry mask. And after that, it's gonna probably, or it may be an enzyme. And after that, I may do a jelly mask to close it out. But the goal is to pull impurities out. So the double cleansing and the dry mask is gonna pull up anything that was just laying dormant, some extra oils, things like that. It's gonna pull it up and tighten the skin. And the enzyme is gonna give you that extra exfoliation. Okay. So we don't want anything, this person's skin is gonna be amazing or anything to build up. And it's called a sports facial. And I may close it out with some vitamins. Vitamin E, vitamin C combos on the skin, sports facial. Okay. And you guys could customize and build facial treatments to your clients. And so when we talk about customizing, you may learn the basics, you may learn standard. That's what schools do. They teach standard, and then you will add on top of it. It's just like you having a base recipe and you adding what you like onto it. Okay. Let's look at the roles of professional esthetician and hairstylist. Um, Very popular opposition. Sometimes we're on the opposite sides. One skincare, one is hair. All right. When you pull up the esthetician, we're all about the nutritional and wellness of the body. All right. So now, as a cosmetologist at high energy, excited with estheticians, you might have to calm it down a little bit because ultimately we're trying to relax the client. Okay. We're trying to ensue these therapies. So we do things to kind of relax the client, calm down, we relax. Okay. We use a lot of neutrals, everything, because we don't want the clients to be left or right. All right. We focus on mind. Oh, wow. I always got a student call. All right, thank you guys so much. And so, yeah, just looking at the roles of a cosmetologist versus that of an esthetician. If you're going to do both, you'll need to understand the is how an esthetician work, and then cosmetologists would need to adopt that. Okay, and so cosmetology, we can be all creative, we can be high energy, but at the same time, if we're going to adopt aesthetics, we need to we need to ensure that, remember, those individuals come in for skincare, they're more mild mannered. Okay. Not as probably loud or creative, but the objective is this: take an holistic approach. Okay, for mind, body, and I say soul, taking a holistic approach. What that simply means, and I'm gonna let you go. And what that simply means is that if you're gonna do the both, you're definitely gonna make sure that you're able to relate to both types of clientele. Okay. All right. And so in managing the careers, let's do that. Here we go. What are two ways that you can manage both aesthetics and cosmetology career? You're going to look at 743 and 744, and I'm highlighting some areas, and also will bookmark this area as well. It says working the opposite schedule, risk scheduling difficulties, especially if you are performing multiple chemical services. So this is why I stated one day you may do skincare, and then the other days you may do hair care. Okay, you don't want the schedules to collide, because you will probably go from rushing and doing this, and you have to move into this calm state. But if you're gonna plan and do the services, make sure that they're like you have the time in between to move from esthetician to cosmetology. I'm bookmarking that area. Um, Today, I just wanted to introduce that, but I also want you guys to start the check-in questions, all right? And continue your reading until you get to analyzing the equipment, okay? So equipment analyst, I want you to, your assignment today going into tomorrow is to begin the check-in questions. I want to see some check-in questions tomorrow, okay? This week, we should finish all the check-in questions, but I want you to at least start with, and that's the equipment. Let's see. We're going to do one. Let's do 1 through 9. 1 through 9 check-in questions. That's the assignment for the week. Okay? Hold on one moment. Chapter facials, your facials chapter. Your assignment today is 1 through 9 check-in questions. And I just wanted to introduce that, okay? And so tomorrow we should be going over those 1 through 9 check-in questions, okay? We got to finish this week. And at the end of the day, if you need any help and assistance, please let me know. You guys, I'm gonna let you go a little early, but Pooja, I'm gonna get you taken care of today, and I'm gonna call you and let you know when it's done, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, I'm excited for you. Congratulations. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. Intro to hair. This is not hairstyling. Intro to facials, chapter 18. Your assignment check-in questions 1 through 9, and continue reading to those check-in questions